Well, I'm Greg Secrist. The picture looks better than I do, so look at that. But I'm the CEO and founder of BuyKeywordArticles.com. And BuyKeyword Articles, despite the name, we do a lot more than just keyword type of content. We do content from landing page content, press release content, basically anything that you're using in SEO today, we create. And so the unique thing about our company is we have hand-selected writers. We don't do any offshoring, no spinning, no nothing like that. But the teams are all managed by account managers. So, our bread and butter is really the SEO agency, enterprise companies, as well as small businesses that are looking for somebody to manage their projects and be able to get them the stuff that they want. And like I say, 90% of our client base is agencies. And the reason why I'm even sharing this information with you is because what I'm going to do today is kind of share the trends that we're seeing in the industry. I get asked all the time, what are other people doing? What type of content is working, in today's landscape? So that's kind of what I want to do. I'm not going to tell you that content A is better than content B, or that you should be doing this instead of that, but I'm going to show you the numbers so that you guys can make your own assumptions as to what you think is working. And that's why I wanted to show this to you, is to give you an example that, we're helping a lot of large agencies, so this will give you a peek or some insight into what they're doing to make up a full content campaign. So let's talk about that. What makes up a balanced content strategy? All of us know about SEO articles or link building articles, but there's much more to SEO than that. Since Penguin and Panda have changed the SEO landscape, what are some of the other things that people are buying? And again, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that this is how you do it or this is how not to do it, but I'm going to let you kind of decide based on the data that I show you from our own internal data. This is stuff that's all based off of our market data at BuyKeyword Articles, for you to decide that. So if we look at from May 2012, which is right about when Penguin came out, all the way until last month, February of 2013, you kind of see over all of the orders that BuyKeyword Articles took in that SEO articles or the link building article, the thing that you would send to a directory or a guest blog or things like that, made up anywhere from 50 to 60% of the total order volume that came in. The rest is kind of what we consider our customized content. Everything is customized, but we call it our higher end content, obviously. But that includes landing pages, blog posts, press releases, enterprise blogs, and other types of custom content. So that kind of gives you an idea from May all the way to February, kind of how the shift has been made. We're going to go into this a little bit closer. I get asked, about article marketing articles. Are they dead? Do they work? Are they garbage? And the answer is no. And we're going to go into that. From May to February, SEO articles are articles that were, written within a 1 to 3% keyword density, and that were sent and made backlinks for. They averaged up to 67.8% total order volume for our company. So they're still being used by agencies. They're still being used by large SEO companies and enterprise companies as part of their SEO campaign. So I wanted to bring that up just because a lot of people think that they've disappeared. And when we talk about an SEO article, we're not talking about a spun article. We're not talking about something that's keyword, stuffed. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a well-written article that does have some keyword focus, but that is original and unique, and that can be, submitted to a high-quality directory. That's what we define article marketing is, or our SEO article. But as we all know, Panda and Penguin kind of changed the landscape. SEOs couldn't just order a ton of SEO articles and get them distributed. There was more to it. And so what are those pieces that make it, that help with that? And we can kind of see here, and I mentioned this earlier, our landing pages, press releases, lots of customized content has really kind of risen since Penguin. And so I've got a trend line here to kind of show you, out of the 100% order volume that we see, what trends we're seeing. Where right now SEO content or SEO articles are making up about 50% of our total order volume. It's easy to see that by the end of even the end of this year, original and customized content that's higher quality will definitely tip the scale, so to speak. And so that's kind of a content trend that you're able to see. This trend means a couple of things. Number one, that there's more to the content strategy than just SEO articles or article marketing. Number two, most SEO agencies are utilizing a wide variety, and that's my main thing I want you to get from this presentation, is that you have to have a balance of types of content that you're ordering. You can't just order one thing or not another. And again, I mean, all of you have different opinions and different ways of doing it. You might see success from just doing landing pages, or you might see success from just doing press releases. But what I'm kind of hoping to show you here is some insight to what other people who find success in the industry are ordering combined. Number 3, that content is being focused more around the reader instead of just for search engines. And that was the biggest problem with old school link building articles, is they were completely built to a science for the search engine instead of giving the reader anything of value. You know, the reader would read it, it wouldn't even make sense, you know, there's nothing that they gain from it. And so creating content that is high quality, engaging, and gives the reader something of value is extremely important in today's SEO landscape. So let's answer the question, you know, what content types should you be ordering? Well, again, I'm not going to sit here and say one is better than the other, but let's take a look at what the industry is doing. So if we look at this again from January 1, you know, January all the way until the end of February, I'm just going to give you some content trends as to kind of the overall order volume and types of content that came in. So first of all is the SEO article. We talked about that, the link building article that goes to directories. And then our premium article is a higher quality article. A lot of people use those for blog posting or a nice, you know, specific article to put on their website. A branded blog is for those enterprise websites that have, you know, very high maintenance and also a lot of guidelines and a lot of you know, particulars to their blog. Landing pages is pretty self-explanatory. And then page rewrites can be, you know, content that needs to be optimized, that hasn't been optimized, or content that's been sitting on a web page for years that needs to be brought up to speed. And then obviously our press releases that we do. So if we look at this, SEO articles made up 53% of the total ordering volume for most SEO agencies. Our premium article made up about 31%, so you can kind of say blog posts on that one. The branded blog made up about 7%. Landing pages were at 5%. Page rewrites were at 3%. And then 1% on the press release. So if you break this down, you can kind of see that 50% of most people's content campaign still made up link building type of articles, but about the other, you know, 47% of what they were ordering had to do with that high-end content, stuff that is really, you know, engaging to the user, good for the reader to have, and was also much more on-page, if you want to talk about on-page versus off-page content. So the key here is that balancing types of content is what a lot of people are seeing success with in the industry right now, making sure that you're ordering lots of different content types instead of focusing primarily on one specific type. And so I'm going to just rehash this again. You know, make sure that article marketing, while it is still very relevant in the SEO world, make sure that you're supplementing that content with different types of content. So make sure you're having a blog, a press release, landing page, on-page content that you're giving the reader. Branch out, you know, try something new. If you've never done a press release, try one. If you've never done landing pages, try it. You know, there's things that you need to do in order to see your metrics over time, to be able to see how content really works for you. Because again, each of you will have a different combination of what works. So making sure that you know, you go through those content types is important. And then, again, I just went over that, finding that right combination that works for you. I kind of want to end it here, but if there's a question or two, I'd be happy to answer it. But thank you so much for listening to my presentation today.